similarities or differences?
Man, be real slow comparing people to Lamar Jackson. That's a multi-time MVP. That's Mr. Jackson. We'll see Mr. Jackson in a few days.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Price Check Sports Podcast, brought to you by the In the Zone Network, where we go city to city, state to state, worldwide. NBA Cup is underway. We got NFL matchups that are going to have some real big impact on playoff matchups, playoff seeding, conference winners, division winners. Lots to talk about. Not a lot of time to do it, so let's get into it. NBA Cup tipped off last night. We're recording this on Wednesday morning, November 13th. Didn't have a show last week. I know, of course, had some heavier things going on in the world last week, so definitely wanted to take a little bit of break. But now have got a chance in that time frame digest a little bit more NBA, culminating, of course, last night with the start of the NBA Cup. What was the NBA in-season tournament last year. They put a sponsor and a name to it this year. So, tournament tipped off last night. Two biggest matchups, of course. You had Klay Thompson, Dallas Mavericks, going to Golden State, his first trip back to the Bay since changing teams this offseason. And, of course, Steph did what he typically does and ruins the party, man. Steph put everybody to bed once again. Crazy performance, 37 points, 9 assists. In a win, 120-117 to spoil Klay's return. And a big win for the Warriors, a team that I honestly think might need to be looked at more as the favorite to win this NBA Cup. And reason why I feel that way is similar to me in how they're built and how, well, not even necessarily how they're built. I think they're a deeper team than what the Lakers team was last year that won this in-season tournament. But similar feel to them. Getting out of the gates hot, kind of have the type of momentum and type of star that you need. Okay, hey, these NBA Cup games are, a couple times a week, maybe once a week, depending on, how the schedule breaks down for us. We need somebody that's going to be able to carry us through this tournament, but we also have the team that's going to kind of be able to work around that in the non-tournament games. And so I think this Warriors team has showed that they can play physical defense again. Andrew Wiggins is at least contributing again. Buddy Hield is out, but he's assumed that Klay Thompson role to perfection up until this point. Still getting solid minutes out of guys like Trace Jackson Davis, Podziemski, Moses Moody. Kuminga has been a little spotty here and there, but all in all, they're a deep team and a team that is built for a tournament style of play. And we saw it all last night. So I think the Warriors should be a favorite, at least in the West, to come out. They got a big win in terms of how their group is structured over the Mavericks. I think they have the Nuggets in their group as well, but big win for them to kick off tournament play last night. Also had a big win out of the New York Knicks last night, 111-99 against the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid's season debut here this year in Philly last night. Now, of course, Nick spoiled that for him. Some controversy around Joel Embiid since the last time that we had our show. Of course, he got into a little bit of a shoving match with one of the reporters out there in Philadelphia based on what that reporter said in an article about his son and his deceased brother. So, of course, understanding no tolerance for disrespect on that, but probably not the best way to handle it in that moment. But he is back not only from his injury management, but also the suspension that was handed to him for that incident. So, looked okay. Of course, out of shape. I know, of course, Shaq had some things to say on the TNT broadcast about him last night. So, he's already said that he's not going to play in back-to-back games. We'll see if that's still the case. They got a back-to-back tonight against the Cavaliers at home as well. The 76ers team, man, they got Tyrese Maxey out right now. Also, injuries across the league are crazy right now, but Tyrese Maxey out for them right now. Paul George has looked good coming back off of his injury, but Maxey out, you don't necessarily think you're going to have Embiid or Paul George in back-to-backs. It's going to look real dicey for the 76ers when you're talking about playoff seeding and getting ready to enter the playoffs. Good chance they might be in the play-in based on how things look for them right now. So, 76ers took a tough loss to the Knicks last night. A couple other notable outcomes for that NBA Cup start. Celtics, I had a money line bet, and of course I bet on the damn Celtics. Being a Laker fan, shame on me, right? Celtics upset by the Hawks. They were minus 1,200 favorites to start that game. Minus 15.5 on the point spread. Lost that game outright to the Hawks last night at home. Crazy. Never betting on the Celtics again. Don't give a damn what they do. Don't give a damn how long Jason Tatum wears that damn jersey. Never betting on the Celtics again. Just had to get that out. And then, of course, the Timberwolves also lose last night to the Blazers. A Blazers team that they had just beaten by 25 points last week. They lose by 14 in Portland last night. They'll get a chance to get a little bit of revenge on that loss tonight, playing a back-to-back in Portland again here this evening. So, notable outcomes. We'll have more tournament games on Friday. Got some more NBA action here tonight. We'll get to a parlay we got for that here a little bit later. But got to transition into the NFL. Week 11 is here. Week 11 has some very, very meaningful matchups for us when it talks about or when it comes to, potential playoff seeding, division winners, how that might mean, some teams fall into the wild card race, all of that. 4 matchups that we have to mention here on today's show. First one starting early, Thursday night football tomorrow. We've got Commanders at Eagles. I'm sure, Philly is going to be jumping for that one. Battle for first place in the NFC East between the Commanders and Eagles in that one. I got to say, I like, the Eagles have kind of found their rhythm a little bit. It's been, a little shaky. They've had some games with A.J. Brown out of the lineup. They had Nick Sirianni doing some weird stuff as a head coach. But all in all, they seem to have found their footing a little bit. This Commanders team, they took a tough loss against the Steelers on Sunday, but a team that, one, stays in every single game, even if they happen to lose it. But their defense is playing a little bit better than a lot of people may have expected. They gave up, of course, 28 points on Sunday in that loss, but, not the same team that has just been getting scored on at will in previous seasons. I think in a divisional matchup, this game is going to be close. I'm not saying that the Commanders are going to win it. But I do think that 3.5 on the point spread looks a little bit nice, just considering the Eagles have also had some issues closing out tough games this season. So I think that 3.5 giving you the hook there, to have that field goal victory not hurt you. I'd take a look at the Commanders on the point spread, but that's a game I'm absolutely looking forward to tomorrow night. Jalen Hurts is starting to find his rhythm a little bit. Seems like he's, fully healthy now. And then, of course, we don't have to talk about Saquon Barkley. That man is not human at this point, things he's done in recent weeks. So I think prediction-wise, I think the Eagles will win, but I think it's going to be a field goal game. So I like the Commanders on the point spread for Thursday night football. Now, Sunday, we've got some doozies here. We got Steelers, Ravens starting off. This AFC North matchup. We know the rivalry, historic. These two teams are going to be in a bloodbath come Sunday. Now, one thing to note, if you are betting this game, FanDuel allows you the same game parlay, the alternate spread for both teams. In your parlays on Sunday, just make sure to include both teams plus 7.5. Reason for this. Last time either of these teams beat the other by more than 7 points was December of 2019. We're going on almost 5 whole calendar years since one of these teams has beaten the other team by more than a touchdown. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out game. It's going to be close. It's going to be physical. AFC North, just the definition of football. Steelers-Ravens is going to be a good one. I'm taking the Ravens on the road. Line is -3 right now, I think. I think it's going to be probably somewhere between a field goal 4-point game in some way. I'm going to take the Ravens, though, just because I think having Derrick Henry to be able to pound the ball on the ground is an element to that offense that they had not had previously in some of these matchups against the Steelers. They've also been shorthanded against the Steelers a couple of the times they faced them, most recently not having Lamar Jackson. So we'll see how this turns out. But I do think this is going to be a very physical, very tough football game to win for either squad. But I'm taking the Ravens, probably something like 17-14, 17-13 type of game. Low scoring, physical, just old school football in that one. Now, lesser drama, you got Seahawks and 49ers, NFC West. Now, reason I mentioned that game is a must-win for Seattle at this point. I believe the Cardinals are going into this week 11 on their bye week at 6-4 in first place. You got this 5-5 49ers team. 5-4 49ers team going up against a 4-5 Seattle team. Both of them, of course, wanted to make sure that if you're San Fran, wanted to try to catch Arizona in that division battle. Seattle, you're trying to keep the division hopes and even your playoff hopes alive, especially after the Rams lost on Monday Night Football this past week. So definitely a must-win for Seattle. I probably would still lean 49ers. They are at home for this one. They also got the win in Seattle earlier this season on Thursday Night Football. I think with Christian McCaffrey back, he looked like he left that game without any setbacks or any additional injuries. I think they're going to be able to find their rhythm. 49ers win that one, probably about a touchdown difference there. And then last but not least on the football point, Chiefs and Bills in Buffalo. Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen. We do it seems like at least once a year. Is this going to be the year that not only the Bills win in the regular season, but also potentially get over the hump in the playoffs against KC? Obviously, the playoff part of it is going to be, left to be seen. But a win on Sunday at home against Kansas City would do them major favor in terms of possibly locking up the 1 seed in the AFC. Buffalo comes into this game 8-2. Of course, the Chiefs come into it at 9-0 after a miracle field goal block on Sunday. My gut, of course, is to say, let's go ahead, take the Bills. The Chiefs have been playing all these other games too close. But guess what? You don't bet against Patrick Mahomes as an underdog. Typically, in games that he is an underdog on the betting line, those Chiefs games turn out to be Chiefs victories. So, for me, I'm betting on it. Just take the straight bet, Chiefs money line on that one. I think this is going to be similar story as it always is with these two teams. 27-24, 28-24 type of game. Going to be close down to the wire, but at the end of the day, Chiefs are going to pull this one out like they have done every game this season at this point. So maybe just their year on the AFC side of it. Now, of course, one team that we did not get to talk about from an NFL standpoint just yet is the best team in the NFL, in my opinion, right now, Detroit Lions. But not talking about them from game standpoint. We are going to talk about them in our NFL bet for the week. Going all NFC North for our NFL bet this week. Lions, Packers, Vikings, money lines on FanDuel. Those three picks put together gets you plus 113 odds on FanDuel. Lions, of course, playing at home against the Jaguars. I believe this is going to be Zadarius Smith's first game as a Lion since being traded there. The home crowd is going to be going crazy. They had a crazy comeback on the road in Houston this past Sunday night. I don't see a world where the Lions lose this game. Packers on the road in Chicago. It was before it was Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. I think the Packers still own the Bears, and I think this Bears team has given up for the season. And the Vikings are going on the road to Tennessee. Now, this one could potentially be a little bit of a trap game, but I also feel like Vikings got their trap game out of the way in Jacksonville last week. So I'm taking them to beat the Titans on the money line. Lions, Packers, Vikings again, plus 113 odds on FanDuel. And then last but not least, before we go as far as betting-wise goes for the NBA tonight, these Wednesday slate of games, got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 25 or more points. Cleveland Cavaliers money line against the 76ers. Shai is playing the Pelicans. Pelicans, of course, no DeJounte Murray, no CJ McCollum, no Zion Williamson. So really not a whole lot of defense to throw at him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander go get 25 or more points, especially with Chet Holmgren out of the lineup. Just dropped 45 the other night. Cavs money line against the 76ers. We know Joel Embiid is typically not going to play back-to-backs on the second night of a back-to-back. I don't believe Paul George will either. So you get Cavs money line there. And then Jalen Duren of the Detroit Pistons, I'm going to take his over 19.5 points plus rebounds as a combo on FanDuel tonight. So those are our picks for the day. That is our show for the day. Thank you to those who tuned in. Continue to like, share, subscribe where you see us on YouTube. Continue to like, repost, share all of what we do on the socials, Instagram and Twitter. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back talking more sports. We might even throw in a few other topics here depending on how some things play out. But all in all, good week to be an NFL fan, good week to be an NBA fan. Let's keep watching. Let's keep talking. Till next time, I am your host, Josh Price. Check it out.